Hi everyone, this is Samira here and welcome to the News Radar, exploring rain-related losses in Himachal. Conversation with geologist Sunil Dhar. Following the recent rain-induced losses in Himachal Pradesh, the News Radar engages in a conversation with Sunil Dhar, a renowned geologist and professor at the Department of Environmental Sciences, Central University of Jammu, to delve into underlying factors behind these events. So, welcome to the platform of the News Radar. So, what geological factors contribute to the increased frequency and intensity of rain related disasters in Himachal Pradesh Hill State?
They are in a state which have which have developed under tremendous stress. We have because tectonically the state of entire Himalayan region is tectonically very the rock type, the lithology which we have in Himalayas is but that we should not say that it is the most important factor that contributes to disasters or meteorological disasters in Himachal in the Himalayan terrain. Now, since we are discussing this Himachal Himalayas, but there are factors that we have certain tectonic planes which pass in through Himachal Himalayas. For example, main boundary thrust is there, main central thrust is there. Then we have Himalayan frontal thrust is there. Basically, these thrustal planes, these thrustal elements, or these structural elements which we have in Himachal Pradesh, they are basically the regions uh, where building up of stress is taking place. This building of stress makes the lithology vulnerable, as a matter of fact. And then, of course, if we have climate related say disturbances, definitely that can play a very important role. It can accelerate the process of uh, impending disasters, as a matter of fact.
Okay. So, sir, can you please tell us थोड़ा elaborate करके बता सकते हैं आपकी एक region की topography और geological formations कैसे influence करती हैं एक area की vulnerability को to landslides and flash floods during heavy rains? Yes, sir. Thank you.
जहाँ तक हिमाचल प्रदेश या और फॉर दैट मैटर द एंटायर हिमालयन टेरेन व्हिच एक्सटेंड्स फॉर अबाउट 2500 square kilometers east west and about 300 kilometers in say north south. Basically, see, disasters happen in Himalayas because of most of the disasters that happen in Himalayas are basically induced by human beings. They are anthropogenic in nature. Most of the population, especially in the towns of Himachal Pradesh, they live along the floodplains. So whenever there is voluminous water that is crossing the banks, it will enter into those areas which are inhabited. Once once that water enters into the inhabited areas, there is it becomes a disaster. And if it does not, see, in the higher regions, uninhabited regions of Himalayas, such things, whenever such things happen, but they are not directly affecting the population, they don't become disasters. Basically, they become disasters when they are directly they cause damage to the life and property. And obviously, the life and property is you can find it in the floodplains of Himalayas, in the floodplains of these river systems. We have four important river systems that originate from Himachal Pradesh. We have Beas river system is there, Beas basin is there, Satluj basin is there, then we have Ravi basin, and then we have the Chenab basin. So these four important rivers, is they are huge rivers which are a part of Indus basin basically. Then the fifth river Jhelum that we find it in the Kashmir Valley. So these five river systems, they have their own floodplains. These floodplains over a period of time have been inhabited by people. Obviously, whenever there will be more rains, whenever there will be a situation of a cloudburst, it is bound to create havoc.
Okay. Human activity जैसे construction, deforestation interacted with the geological conditions. इसने कैसे worsen किया impact के rainfall induced disasters के impact को?
There's deforestation, but at the same time, I think these slope the change in the land use, that is another important aspect that is happening in the Himalayas. That change in the land use, that means if we had forest somewhere, we are changing it into a road. If we had for that matter, say for slopes which had dense forests, we are cutting those forests, and we are changing the land use. We are making it say an urban population. We are making it a center where a township is being built. Uh, that I should not say now. Basically, change of land use. I think the better term will be manipulation of the resources. We can't manipulate them in such a way. We have to be very scientific once we are changing the landscape of Himalayas. We cannot because these slopes of Himalayas have taken say thousands of years to get stabilized. So all of us, one fine morning, we are removing the cover, slope cover, and then we expect that nothing is going to happen. It is not possible. So it will take a lot of time. We can just see this Kalka Shimla road section also. So the entire land use was changed on the slopes. Those slopes had become stabilized for the last 400-500 years, and now we have changed it, but we can't do anything about it. You can see landslides happening everywhere on this Kalka Shimla highway. So we have to wait for the time till the time these slopes again get stabilized. We can't go for forestation. Forestation will also take a lot of time. Basically, these slopes have to be stabilized. They will take time to get stabilized, or there has or we have to follow certain norms, scientific norms, on the basis of which these roads can be formed.
सर रीसेंट इवेंट्स को देखते हुए हिमाचल में ऐसी कौन सी टेक्निक्स ऑप्ट करी हैं टू मिटिगेट द डिजास्टर्स? ऐसे कौन से वार्निंग सिस्टम्स और मॉनिटरिंग टेक्निक्स ऑप्ट की हैं?
See, so long as these basically cloud bursts or for that matter such kind of disasters do not give us any breathing time, as a matter of fact, ये अचानक ही आ जाते हैं. तो इसलिए there are certain systems that are in place. Undoubtedly, especially the government of Himachal Pradesh has also taken some good steps. We have remote sensing data. We are monitoring disasters that are related to the retreat of glaciers. For example, moraine dammed lakes are there. These lakes are being monitored regularly, and then so long as these floods are concerned to be cloud bursts, we don't know. We can't predict much about cloud bursts because it's a phenomena which happens all of a sudden, as a matter of fact. So the best way to these disasters have to happen. We can't stop disasters, but the only thing we can do is that minimize the impact of the disasters. That is more important. That is how we can fight it out. Minimizing the impact. By minimizing the, once I say minimizing the impact, that means we have to see certain areas, we have to monitor, we have to map certain areas which are prone to disasters, for example, flash floods. We have to see that which regions can be hit first if a flash flood takes place, if a cloud burst takes place. Such kind of mapping is being done. Such kind of mapping has been done, even we have done it, and certain recommendations have been made. And these recommendations are also being implemented, but it is definitely going to take some time.
सर आप क्या रेकमेंड करते हैं या हम क्या ऐसी स्ट्रेटजीज ऑप्ट कर सकते हैं कि मिनिमाइज करा जाए वो एडवर्स इफेक्ट जो रेन रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम्स का होता है? कैसे ग्रेट रेजिलियंस हम ऑप्ट कर सकते हैं हिमाचल प्रदेश में?
See, so long as resilience is concerned to be, मेरे हिसाब से तो the best way to come back to fight these impending disasters or disaster, especially in the because see, we know one thing that we are into that phase of climate change, as a matter of fact. So we should definitely we have to bear this in the mind that we'll be having more and more of meteorological disasters in future also. So climate change, basically these cloud bursts, the frequency of cloud bursts is basically one of the manifestations of the climate change. This freak weather conditions, we have to live with it now. Unless and until we don't, there is not a paradigm shift in reducing the global warming at all. We don't 100% we resort to green energy system. We don't carbon footprints are reduced, but that can't happen overnight. It's going to take a lot of time. So the best way is that identifying the areas, and then working seriously uh, on mapping of the areas, especially in the Himalayan terrain, in the Himachal terrain. A lot of work is going on, but we have to implement the recommendations, implement the reportings that have been done, that is being done by lots of scientists, good scientists working on geology, on disasters, on geomorphological aspects, on tectonic, on seismology of Himalayas. So I think that is the need of the hour.
Sir, is it that cloudburst जो है वो सिर्फ माउंटेनियस रीजन्स में ही हो सकते हैं या पॉसिबिलिटी है कि वो प्लेन रीजन्स में भी हो सकता है cloudburst एक?
Cloudburst can happen anywhere. Cloudburst knows no this geography, as a matter of fact. It can happen anywhere, but the impact of cloudburst is more in hills, because cloudburst can trigger, if we have more rains, flooding will be there in the lower region, or in the sub-Himalayan region, or in the Indo-Gangetic plain. Cloudburst can cause only flooding, but in the Himalayas they can trigger landslides, which are devastating. These landslides can then block the streams. They can form lakes. Then if these lakes burst, they can create a lot of problem in the downstream areas. They can flood the downstream areas. So cloudbursts can happen anywhere. Basically, cloudburst is, as I have told you, if you define it scientifically, a phenomena when we have rain which is more than 100 millimeters per hour.
Make sure to drop a like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the News Radar.